Yeah.
Are you qualified to practice in Ghana too?
No, I'm not.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm not.
Oh, why not? Because this
Should
is your
be.
homeland. Or the
Indeed.
processes are too cumbersome for you.
Oh, not entirely. I've instructed lawyers here on many issues for clients abroad, and
Okay.
I see what goes on. It's quite different from what we go through
Okay.
on there. In England, if you open up a case, even before the case management conference, you have a clear indication of where the case is going to go.
Okay.
And here, sometimes I see lawyers, even on the closings, on the day of summations and closings, you have no indication where it's even going.
Okay.
Or even if you have indication, it turns 360 and sometimes like, ooh, exactly. And I've seen it in the court dealing with land issues, the court dealing with movable property and all that. And it's a bit cumbersome, but that's not the reason why I have not
Okay.
done the post call to be able to be called to be part of the Ghana Legal Council. It's want to do with time, and I still have a lot of clients abroad, and I would have to take a whole 1 year off to be able to do that. And quite apart from how much it is, it's quite expensive, very expensive. And sometimes you have to discuss if is it really worth it. Maybe one day I'll do it. I don't know. If I don't stop practicing, then I may do it one day.
All right. It's nice to have you on the line. First, we've just been having the discussion on community service approach to sentencing. I don't know whether that's the word. Approach to sentencing, and this is something that we understand is most prevalent in advanced jurisdiction. Does the UK have that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we do. You see, in the UK, all matters, it doesn't matter, even if it's grievous, even if it's murder, even if it's rape, which are high offenses, starts at the magistrate's court. You see, the problem is the magistrate court will not have the powers to sentence because their sentencing powers only goes up to 2 years. So they can even try the case there and everything, and they commit the sentencing to a higher court, say the Crown Court, to do the sentencing. In fact, in the UK, the offenders or the suspects are even allowed to elect which court they want to go. Sometimes they may decide that, okay, we want to stay the case in the magistrate's court, or sometimes we want to go to the Crown Court. They can elect. It all has its disadvantages and advantages. In the Crown Court, you definitely will have a jury. The magistrate court is just the magistrate sitting there together with his lawyers helping him, because the magistrates are always not lawyers. They can be lay magistrates. Now, what in the UK we call all those minor offences, you call it summary offences. You see, the UK doesn't have offences like what Ghana has. Ghana combines a bit of the common law and that of the American system. So you hear felony, misdemeanor. We don't have all that in the UK. UK either is a low crime or high crime finish. You see, and the sentencing guidelines are there. Mostly they start on bands. We have band A, band B, band C, band D. If it's within band A and C, I was explaining that. If within band A to C, it can go to a fine. Some of the offenses will come with a fine. And some of the offenses that come with a fine would include minor motoring offenses, assault without injury, minor assault without injury, shoplifting to up to the tune of maybe £50, up to the tune of £100. These are all shoplifting. That are minor offenses, summary offenses, and they may not necessarily send the perpetrator to jail. They may do community service, maybe sweep, and sometimes they do like 70 hours, but you spread the 70 hours in about 2 weeks or 3 weeks. Some do about 130 hours. I've seen some even do 1,000 hours before, spread for about 3 or 4 months. So then you decide that every day you go and do this. And the reason why it's important that you do is that these are all part of probationary. So even if you do it, you are still on license. If you become an offender again, then they may punish you of the new offense that you've done, together with the old one, which you might have been left with a little thing to do, or with nothing. And in the UK, always the starting point is, have they offended before? Are there any mitigation circumstances, or are there any aggravating circumstances? I'll give you an example. If you walk to a nightclub and you have altercation with someone and you slap them, If you slap them in the nightclub, the sentencing would be different from slapping them at the back of the nightclub when you are outside in the dark. If you kick them in the head, the sentence will be different for if you kick them in their leg. If you kick them in their leg, it will be lower than kicking them in their head. So that is what we call proportionality. They put everything in place and see what exactly you were doing.
If you kick somebody in the head, the sentence will be different from if you kick somebody in the leg.
Yes.
I
see. Know why? You see, if you watch football, as soon as a player falls down and they hold their head, the referee stops at once. It doesn't matter. Because the brain controls the entire human body. And at the end of the day, if it's a brain damage or something like that, the person might even die. But if it's their leg, you may feel that, yes, they can survive on that. And the judges will put all this in place, together with other circumstances that they will look. So depending on how you committed the offense, depending on how you hit the person, depending on how you slap the person, the example that I give would determine how aggravating the whole thing is. So the judge decided, no, because you dragged the person out of the club, took him at the back of the club in the dark, and kick him in the head, kick him in the stomach, and kick him in the leg, it falls outside the minor offense. So we will take it a bit higher to maybe band C or band D, for which may was a custodial sentence or something else, even if you are a first offender. But if you're not a first offender, then they will put it together. And the offense would have to relate. Because when it goes to court, there's this we call bad character. The opposing side, that is the prosecutor, can say that, listen, let me bring the bad character of this person for the judge to see. And when they bring the bad character, they know that this person goes to club all the time and he's been fighting. Last week he fought at this club A, he went to club B to fight, and the next minute he even fought at the train station or the concourse. So that means the person has a bad character. However, if the bad character is not related because the person had committed an offense, for say theft, or the person had committed an offense like maybe fraud, and now he's committing an offense of assault, you can't relate it. Do you understand? So in sentencing, the judge would look at all this. And that is the reason why a lot of people would go with minor offenses. But I have seen things in Ghana. I was helping a friend write a paper. So it was on prison and sentence, and then we had to go to Akuse and one other prison, I think second D. And with talking to some of the inmates there, I realized that someone was in there for 17 years. Listen to this. 17 years because his slippers look like somebody else's slippers. The person who might have committed offense and bolted away on a motorbike had the same slippers that guy was wearing. So they put him in there. He hasn't gone on any trial. And this was about 6 years ago. He hasn't gone on trial. He doesn't know what he's charged with. His CID is not available. And he's there for 17 years.
17 years?
Yes, it can never happen in UK.
He's never been tried and sentenced by a court?
No, he's never seen the four corners of a courtroom before. Never.
But just been sitting there 17 years.
17 years.
All because he was wearing the same slippers as the person, the suspects.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay, so what usually happens in the UK? Do you see? So is it applicable? You know our jurisdiction. You know the way things are organized here in Ghana as against the way things are organized back in the UK. Is this something that can be easily implemented in Ghana?
Yes, we can implement it. But you see, when people offend, there should be what we call the post-offend meeting. You see, so they sit down with the person and they tell the person the consequences of reoffending or the consequences of not serving the community. So they say, you know what? We know where you live. They can even tag him if they want. Tag is, now internet is everywhere. Tag is just based on GPS. So you can even tag the person. So if they put the electronic tag on the person, listen, at every point in time, we know where to get you. And electronic tag is like handcuff. You can't remove it. You can't even cut it. Because as soon as you touch it, it beeps. So we can start piloting like that. We can even tag the person and say, you know what, every morning you have to go to St. Augustine's College to help clear the bulls, to help watch bulls for the next 2 months. If you do not go, you are going to Ankafu prisons or secondary prison. And when people know that consequences, they would rather want to do that and have their freedom rather than going in there. Of course, you have people who don't really care. But I'm sure a good number, because some of the offenses are too minor for people to go to prison, because our prisons are so overcrowded. The last one was in Sawam 2 weeks ago. I went to visit a friend who has been incarcerated for 15 years in Sawam, and the condition was terrible.
I see. So it is even in the interest of a country, from what you have observed, that we move towards this direction to decongest our prisons.
Yes, it's in the interest, because some people are in there. We don't have to keep them there. And especially in the country, here the sentencing discount doesn't work too much. But in England, there are sentencing discounts. You see, if you offend and at the first opportunity you're able to plead guilty and say that you've offended, where there will be no trial, you can get a discount of 25%. Of course, it doesn't apply to all offenses. Some offenses, you go the full length of it.
Sentencing discount.
Mm-hmm.
As in, if I plead guilty early, I know I've done it, so I plead guilty, they can discount my sentence by 25%.
Yes. So instead of going for 10 years, they will take 2.5 off.
I see. That's interesting. In fact, and I want to conclude on this note. Come back to where we started from.
Mm-hmm.
You're saying that the UK system is much more simplistic than the Ghanaian system. You're saying the Ghanaian system is combining two systems, the common law system, and I guess that's what is being practiced in the UK.
Yes.
And then the American system, which is a bit more complicated.
Yes.
So we are doing simplicity and complication at the same time.
Exactly.
I see. You were talking about unpredictability too for a lawyer, that when you go into when somebody hands over a case to you in the UK, you can tell from the beginning where it might go.
Yes.
But in Ghana, you can't tell.
No, in Ghana, it's difficult. It's very difficult. I am sure some of the old lawyers would have a fair idea where it's going to go. You know, it's difficult, because I have seen, you see, like what I saw in the Lumba case, where there's a pronouncement and less than 2 hours, it goes entirely opposite. And what I saw in Agrada's case, where Agrada is going 15 years, and upon return, it goes all the way down to 1. Yeah, from where I'm coming from, I would not be able to understand. And it doesn't matter how much it's explained to me. And I go to court with friends, follow them to court here, and sometimes where it's going, I don't understand. So I come out and it's like, is that how you practice all the time here? Why would you have to write when you are doing cross-examination? Then the judge will say question. Then you ask the question, then you wait, the judge will say answer. You know, because someone is typing it slowly. Well, how much does it cost to record? You know, because I don't see that in England. In even in police station interview, when the police is interviewed, they will agree. We all sit down. They take the tape. Everybody, guarantees that it's a blank tape. They put it in. They call the time. It's 9:30. There's an interview of this. The interview begins at this time. Then they press it, record everything, and by just AI of 1 minute, it can transcribe everything recorded into sheet of papers for you to clip if you want to file it physically. No, it's different. And you see, the reason why lawyers will need certainty of how the judicial system works is then you can advise your client very well. I've worked on a matter before, I'll tell you very quickly, where my client, it was a murder case where my client was insisting that he didn't do it. There was circumstantial evidence against him. The reason why he was insisting is that he chased the victim to a cul-de-sac, which the camera doesn't capture anymore. The camera ends at the beginning of the cul-de-sac. Now he comes back after about 7-8 minutes, rational. Nobody comes out again. He's saying that he didn't do it. He chased the guy to the cul-de-sac, yet he didn't get the guy, so he came out. Now he was trying to run away. He threw all his garment away, trying to hide everything that he needs to hide. Now, on the circumstantial evidence, the jury thinks that, listen, you are the only person who was chasing the guy there. The CCTV has been watched over and over before the ambulance arrived. Nobody came out again. It's a cul-de-sac. It goes nowhere. So why is it not you? You see, if you see things like this, you can instantly advise your client, listen, what is against you is a lot. This is the disclosure that we have. And once we have the disclosure, the jury would be convinced. Think about it. You and I, let's think about it. If he was your son, would you have thought that somebody else came to kill him, that we don't have the person on the CCTV, or is you? Then after advising the client was like, yes, he did it. I said, okay, if you did it, go to court and tell them then. Because if you plead early, then you can get your discount. If you let it go on a full trial, wasting everybody's time, at the end of the day, you get nothing. And there may even be aggravation circumstances against you. But what I realize in Ghana is that even when you've got conviction and victims are happy that they have had their day and that they have justice, the next minute it comes back to say that 15 years becomes 1 year. Then I'm sure if I was a victim, I would go like, oh, what happened? Do you understand where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
So you hardly have certainty here, hardly. Having said it, I'm sure those who have practiced for a very long time here would know the sense that goes with it. But I've seen lawyers being frustrated. Lawyers who are being frustrated, and even on a private level, they tell you that, this judge, I knew he wasn't going to give me judgment. This judge, I know he's corrupt and all that, because the case is clear cut, it's black and white.
I see. And you said also, if you were you went to school in the UK, you were called to the bar in the UK. Trying to practice in Ghana, first you need 1 year. 1 year of what? Studying?
1 year of post-call.
Post-call.
Yes, it's called post-call. And which is understandable. If you've also practiced here, you come to England, you need to write a few exams. So, for example, I have done land law. Land is land. When we say land in law, is property, including houses. They are all land. But you see, when you go to England, and our land tenure system there in England is different from here. In England, every land, the reversion of every land goes back to the crown. At this present, the king, goes to the crown. Here, there are two lands. There are individual lands, and there are lands which have even been acquired by government. Government didn't use that; they are releasing them. Do you understand? So when you come here, you want to practice here, you would need to know all this. There's a Ghana legal system. Ghana legal system is entirely different from the UK legal system. The structures. We have the Crown Court, we have the Magistrate Court. And until just less than 15 years ago, we didn't even have the Supreme Court deciding on matters. It was the House of Lords who were deciding on matters. But now they are Supreme Court and all that. So when you come here, you have to know which courts you can apply for what. And those things are the Ghana legal system. You have to learn all that. And these things are learned in the constitutional law. So the Ghana constitution is different, So you have to learn all that within that 1 year to write your exams before you are called to the bar after the one academic year, which is 9 months, but we say 1 year because it's one academic year. Before you be able to practice, be accepted by the General Legal Council and the Ghana Bar Association, then you have your license to practice. Until then, you can't practice here. So I'm not able to.
I see. I asked that because I want to ask you one final question. I'm sure you're monitoring what has happened in the case of Menzo Foriata. Initially, we spoke to you. How predictable is the U.S. system? And can you predict what will happen to him based on your own dealings with the U.S. system?
I believe in the U.S. system a lot. But you see, law, at the face of it, is what you and I see is not too much the way sometimes it is. You see, law sometimes grounds on public policies and what they want to do. For example, I've seen people who had got away with certain things because of how much they have on them or their contribution to the society. And I've also seen people who had put a lot of money in a system which the systems do not get there. For example, Mohammed Al-Fayed, who was the owner of Harrods, which later he sold it to the Qatar Holdings. In fact, he is the owner of Fulham Football Club as well. He lived in England since the 60s. He came to England 62, 65 from Egypt or somewhere. He qualified to get British passport. They never get him British passport. They gave him British passport. Never. Because they told him that British passport is a matter of privilege. Now he qualifies for all aspects of the legalities. If you put the legals, who qualifies for British passport, has a person lived here for this amount of years, has a person had any criminal offense, has a person this, he qualifies for all that, and yet he didn't give him. This is pure public policy. I don't know how much public policy is going to play a role in it, but I keep on telling people certain things I can tell off air, but I cannot say it on air. Sometimes, depending on how much money you have, how much you are putting into the society, how much the society wants to keep you there, they may even keep you there. Now we hear that he's coming home. We don't know if he's coming or not, but we only wait to see. I can't predict it.
Thank you. Thank you for speaking to us.
Thank you, Sana, for having me.
That's Lawyer Anderson Danso, UK-based lawyer, speaking to us this morning on this matter of community service. So he says, yes, they have some there. The only problem is that the Ghanaian system is quite different from this. That in Ghana, we have combined two systems, the UK system and the US system. Ghana, dear, we never make up our mind. Pick one. UK system and the US system. So for him, he even struggles to understand how we work these things out in Ghana. Well, so SM, does that help? The interview, does it help?
Oh, yes.
It puts a lot. Okay, so two things we've spoken, or two people we've spoken to, one lawyer practicing in Ghana,
and
saying
the
that
other one
saying that that's the best way to go.